Yeah, I mean, in some ways, uh, we've talked a little about it. So a map is just a way to try to give what are called orientation instructions, how to shift your consciousness and how to navigate so that when you let go, you start to realize, okay, what's letting go, who's letting go, and where is it letting go into? And then once I've let go, where where am I and who am I now that and what's the relationship to my everyday consciousness? So all that to say that, the simple map is that our conventional way of organizing is usually called everyday mind. So everyday mind and consciousness is, oh, it's me, I'm here, I've got to get up and do this work. And we're kind of located in our head looking out of our eyes. And then the next location is subtle mind, which is a mindful witness. So this is what a lot of mindfulness is about. You calm the everyday mind and body, and then you shift up into a meditator consciousness or subtle mind, which is or you drop into subtle body by doing practices like in yoga, doing yoga, saying Om. And you go into out of your everyday mind into subtle body, qigong, exercise, dance. So you're dropping out of the self into a physical subtle body, or you step up, as many people do in Vipassana, into subtle mind. So that's second location. And that's where most people will work. And once you step into this second subtle mind, you can start to see that in the everyday mind body is these parts and thoughts, feelings, sensations, emotions. You can see them as changing contents and as constellations of consciousness. So that's most of where most meditation and psychology is. So the third location is awake awareness, which is the new. So instead of awareness looking at the contents of thoughts, feelings, sensations, worry, anxiety, feelings, awareness turns back and looks back through the lens until it finds the subtlest dimension of awareness that's already awake and aware by itself. So that's what we did when we did what's here now, when there's no problem to solve. So the everyday mind and the subtle mind is still dancing here, but we've gone subtler than the subtle mind into the pure awareness dimension. And then when pure awareness and the aliveness are same taste or non-dual, that's called simultaneous mind or presence or non-dual embodiment or interconnectedness or interbeing, as Thich Nhat Hanh called it, interbeing, which is interbeing here, but it's also interconnected with everyone and everything. And so that's the quality that River described as kind of the safety. Right. That's where you feel safe. Like you're not safe by scanning in your mind from everyday mind. You're actually like, oh, the awareness is primary, but I'm not disembodied, but I'm transcendent and included. And then there's the heart mind is the fifth heart mind or open-hearted awareness or awake loving flow, where you've dropped from head to heart space and you feel like you're interconnected and you still have this wisdom mind that can use thought and emotion, and you're operating more from a flow, a wisdom flow, but it has this supportive love. And so that's the fifth. And so almost each full glimpse will take you through, just because they're all there, it's like using a microscope. You could, use a set of glasses and you see everything. Then you use a microscope and you can see thoughts, feelings, sensations. And then you use an electron microscope and you'll see space,
Right.
mostly space. Then you use a telescope, you see most of the universe. And then you feel this universal consciousness that you're now aware of and as and from. And so that then opens you up to
this beingness.
To beingness. And beingness, because it's not separate and not threatened, has a natural love. It has natural safety and a natural love. And these a taste of this, that's why we do glimpses of this, because sometimes it just needs like what's called recognition and then familiarization, like, oh, right, that's me. Huh. And then everything will relax. And then you may lose it and get back in the everyday mind will take over, but you kind of you learn to return during the day. And then it becomes like a developmental stage over time.
Right.
It becomes more primary, more sense of who I am. And so that's so if we do it almost like, so, there are ways to do it slowly, but if you just almost assume that I'm talking to you, and when I'm talking to you, the already awake consciousness, because that's the premise, is that we're already awake. There's an awakeness. It's covered up. It's in the background. So if your awakeness is identified with this everyday mind, and the awakeness or the awareness can move itself and unhook and drop, just feel that awareness decenter. And move down so you're aware of your smile and your jaw from within your jaw. And then that kind of globe of direct perception can feel your throat and your neck from within. So you don't have to check back up to thought, and you don't have to stretch attention down, but you can feel as if you're aware of the effervescent aliveness, the physicalness, the space, and the awareness within your throat directly, and then simply let your awareness drop below your neck to feel your body directly from within. So what does that feel like to be embodied for the first time? And you can feel your whole body all at once, and then feel as if your awareness looks for this open space, this heart space, somewhere in the middle of your body, and then goes like a living stream, and then subtler into the atom, into the space of open-heartedness, what you know of as being aware not from your head, but your heart, not your emotional heart, but this deep, boundless heart. And notice the boundless heart is not only within, but it's all around. So it's also within you and behind you. And let that awareness move at the speed of awareness until it finds the awake field of awareness, the ocean of awareness that's already awake without your help. And as it mingles, feel the receiving of that ocean of awareness as it rises as your whole body, this field of dancing aliveness, and looks out of the eyes of your heart. So as if your eyes are receiving, and then you're feeling interconnected with everyone and everything as you feel back to the support, feel embodied interbeing within, and then feel this compassion toward everyone and everything. May all beings be well and happy. May they find the awareness behind their back. And may I learn to return home, home sweet home, in this heart mind, this wise and loving and resting as safety, able to respond when needed. welcoming of all parts and emotions, able to respond rather than react. And just notice, is this a meditation state that comes and goes, or could this be a returning home to who we actually are, to which other states can now come and go? Is this the true you? Could this be? If it is, would you want to return and learn to live from here? Would that be your heart's desire?
Well, thank you, Loch. I think that is a wonderful place to leave it.
Yes.
I really appreciate the work you're doing. If I can ever support you, please let me know how.
Yeah.
Is there any place you would like to, if my listeners are interested, any place to send them? Of course, the app is available on the App Store, and I mentioned the 2 books, but yeah, where can they go to learn more about you?
Yeah, so probably the easiest place is the website, which is just my name. It's actually, we have a 501(c) nonprofit called Effortless Mindfulness Institute, but its website's lochkelly.org, LOCHKELY.org, and you'll see the Mindful Glimpses app available, which is basically just a kind of a whole intro course of glimpses, all short, and then daily glimpses. That new one will come up every day. So it'll kind of start to give you this framework and this map, but through direct experience. So thank you so much, John, for your kindness and your real authenticity. You're just a tremendous being, and I always enjoy spending time with you.
Thank you, Loch. All right, take care. Give Paige my best.
I will. Thank you so much. Give River mine.